What's up guys, Luke Deutschlander here with another video. If you guys like my videos, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about millennial spending habits and just money in general. So one of the things that I've noticed, especially my generation and even older generations, is that people rely too much on credit cards and just plastic cards in general. Another thing that's kind of bad is like waving your phone around like a magic wand when you use Apple Pay to pay for stuff. Like you guys are paying for things like you're Harry Potter and waving a wand. So why this kind of all correlates to what I'm going to be talking about today, and we're going to be talking about cash today, is the importance of valuing and feeling the pain of exchange. And what I mean by this is when you guys physically have to take cash out of your wallet and you say, let's just say something as simple as going to the gas station. Now you go there and you pay the person or the clerk for coffee. Now when you guys use cash, you actually have to trade the clerk or cashier $5. Let's just say $5 bill. We'll just keep it simple. $5 bill. Now, when you guys trade the cashier or the clerk, that $5 bill, you guys aren't getting that back. You're getting coffee, of course. You got the coffee in your hand, but you actually have to physically exchange and trade that $5 bill, and you don't get that money back. Now, when you guys are out there swiping your debit cards or your credit cards, you guys are swiping the card, you get the coffee, and you're getting the card back. Now, by doing this, you're not losing anything. It's not really a trade. It's not really an exchange. And because of this, this is why people spend more money on average when they use debit or credit cards. Because of the fact that when you use cash, you physically feel the pain of the exchange, of actually losing something and not getting it back. And this is why I think America and, you know, just millennials and people in this generation that don't really use cash anymore have such a spending problem. Especially people who use debit cards, credit cards, and Apple Pay, or other digital payment services. Now, I'm not saying that you guys can't pay your bills online or anything, but I truthfully believe in, and I kind of walk what I'm saying because I personally try and only use cash when it comes to buying things that aren't necessities. And the reason being, guys, is if you use cash every time you buy something, you guys are really going to feel that pain of the exchange of actually having the cash leave your hand or leave your wallet, and it's going to make you guys think twice. Do I really want to buy this? Now, there's a lot of studies out there that show people who actually use debit cards to buy wants or things that they don't need, such as coffees every day, food every day at a restaurant, etc., they actually spend 50 to 65% more than somebody who actually uses cash. And the reason being is that pain of the exchange. Now, when you guys pay that clerk or cashier with a debit card for the coffee, you get both back. God forbid you would ever leave your credit or debit card somewhere, right? So when you guys are using your debit card, you're getting everything back. You're really not losing anything. And it's not like you're going to sit there and look at your phone and watch the bank debit your account when you pay for this coffee. So you really don't feel that loss or exchange of anything. And that's why it's so important, guys, I think, to still use cash. It's something that I do every day, and it really helps me, it keeps me from overspending. When I actually see the money physically leave my wallet, it kind of prevents me from, overspending. Like when I go to a restaurant, I don't know about you guys, but here's a great example. When I go to a restaurant and I pay with my card, I don't think about it as much as when I lay $100 bill down into, that little black tray or the black pamphlet or, Benjamin's casket. I really, really, really think about it when I have to take a $100 bill out of my wallet to pay a bill that's like 85 bucks. I'm sitting there thinking, wow, that was a lot of money. But when I just slap my card down and I don't have to look at my bank account because I know there's money in there to cover it, you really don't have that pain or exchange of loss. And so I really kind of wanted to just talk about this a little bit because I feel like a lot of people out there, in the entrepreneur business, sometimes people are on the brink of greatness, but I feel like sometimes they have problems managing their money. And this is just one thing that I do that really helps me kind of keep my finances in order and just, kind of keeps me in a safe zone. It's really important, guys, to have a safe zone. Never, go over your limits or put yourself out of a safe zone. Make sure you're always okay. And by that, I mean, try and not use credit cards. Now, there's nothing wrong with using a credit card to build credit, like, say, paying for your gas every week, and then you're going to pay it off before the bill statement or before you collect any interest or anything like that. But I'm talking about people who will, use credit cards basically for what they're not intended for. And by that, I mean, going out and splurging, going to Gucci, Louis Vuitton, whatever, buying a car on a credit card. I know people who have credit cards that have $25,000 limits, and they'll go out and buy a car with a credit card, and it's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? I mean, you're basically putting yourself in a coffin, a financial coffin, because you really can't make any money when you're basically paying out 20% or 25% in interest. There isn't a single investment out there that has a guaranteed return of 25% on your investment. So if you're always shelling out 25% interest on payments, how are you going to make any money? You know, I'm not saying that you can't beat that ratio, but it's very hard when the credit card has a guaranteed 25% interest rate, and there really isn't anything out there that you can put your money into that has that kind of return. So when you guys are putting big bills on credit cards, or more or less not big bills, but bills that just aren't needed, such as shopping, vehicles, toys, you know, maybe a dirt bike, a four-wheeler, or maybe a new computer setup, or a new plasma TV, etc., you guys really can't be putting that stuff on your guys' credit cards. Like I said, if you pay cash every time for stuff that is above and beyond what you need, if it's a want, if you pay cash with your wants, I really, really, really think you guys will start to save, you know, quite a bit of money. Like I said, it's that pain of exchange, of actually physically exchanging the cash, getting rid of it, and then not getting anything back. When you guys use your debit card, you're losing nothing because your debit card always comes back and you don't have to see the money leave your account. And then on top of that, guys, like I said, Apple Pay, waving a wand, basically, you guys don't feel a thing at all because, well, first off, I think a lot of people actually get kind of an endorphin rush when they pick up their smartphone because everybody in this day and age, and I can't say that I'm any better, but everybody in this day and age is so obsessed and into their smartphones. So I really think paying cash, it's just helped me a lot. Maybe you guys have your own methods. I would love to hear what you guys got down below in the comments. Let me know what you guys do to save money. And like I said, by no means am I saying not to have a debit or credit card. I'm just saying you guys really need to be watching what you use those for and, you know, what you spend just with credit cards alone, just because of the interest rates and just that paying exchange. Like I said, that paying for trade exchange is really important. Like I said, use your debit cards for what they're intended for. Pay your bills online. That's all fine because it saves you from, you know, mailing in a letter, buying a stamp, and it also saves you time and gas, you know, if you were to drive to a post office or a postal box. So that stuff's all good. But when it comes to wants, like I said, splurging on TVs, going on, you know, shopping splurges, don't use a debit card. Don't use a credit card. If you guys are dining out fancy, use cash, you know. Keep kind of mindful what you guys spend. Like I said, studies show that people who pay cash when they go out and do their wants, and by wants I mean shopping, fancy dinners, or just extra things around the house, or just stuff that's not in your budget, people who don't pay cash pay around 50 to 65% more when they're out doing this kind of stuff, just because of the fact that they spend, and they don't really realize everything that they're spending, and at the end of the month they get hit with this big bill or their account goes into the negative. It's absolutely terrible. And, you know, having to worry a ton about money or about bills is one of the most stressful things out there. It can literally give you gray hairs. I'm not sure if that's factual, but I would say that it was because it's the most stressful thing ever, being completely broke. Or if you're in a relationship and both of you guys are arguing over money, money is one of the #1 causes for divorce and relationship breakups, etc. because financial stress is really stressful because it's one of those things that you can't really talk it out. You can't really work it out instantly. It's something that you kind of have to train your mind and yourself to do to be better with your money. And, you know, there's people out there. I was just watching a podcast the other day. These two people in New York, they bring in around, I think it was like $280,000 a year, which is great money. Not sure if that was net or gross, but it was great money. And they both work for the government. No big surprise there. And neither of them could manage their money. They both have really, really high advanced degrees. It didn't say exactly what, but I think one of them, I want to say one of the degrees was mentioned was a doctorate degree. And I was just like, wow. And they work for the government and they don't know how to manage their money. They're both, I think they were both 29 or 30 and they had about $1 million in debt. I mean, that's just crazy when you think about it, to be 29 or 30 and have $1 million in debt and then they don't know how to manage it. You can have all the schooling in the world, but, you know, like I said, treating your money, you know, like it actually matters rather than just waving a wand on Apple Pay or swiping your card. It's really, really important, and that's going to help you guys save, have a budget, and it's also going to help you guys invest into other stuff that's more important. What you guys should be doing with your money is basically save and invest till you're broke. Invest till you're broke. You know, if you guys have 10 grand sitting around somewhere, put it in a stock, put it in a mutual fund, put it in an index, put it into something so it feels like you're broke. That's another thing, guys. Don't let your bank account stack up to infinity. So when you look at it, you're like, oh, I've got 25 grand in my account. I can just slack off. You guys don't want to get too comfortable. If you get too comfortable, that's where you start making mistakes and you start overspending. So yeah, But that being said, guys, I don't want to go too long into the subject. I would love to do another video like this. I would love to hear you guys' comments down below just on what you guys do to save money, how you kind of take a mental note, how to manage your money. This is what I do personally. Like I said, another thing that I do, guys, just real quick here that you guys can do, you could actually start doing it today, is when you guys go to pay for stuff, use 10s, 20s, 50s, and 100s. And what I do is I actually personally save all my $1 bills and all my $5 bills. I put them in Ziploc baggies, and at the end of each year, or sometimes I'll do every 6 months, I will take the money in, I'll just set it aside. I never count it all year. I take it aside, and then I put it over into the bank account, and after I do that, I basically cash it out. So however much it is, I'll go to my bank, throw it in my account, see how much it is. I'll get a slip for it, and I keep all my slips just to kind of see, like, you know, how much did I save this year. And then what I'll do with that money is I'll usually take that and put that in a stock that's been performing pretty well over the year. So anyways, guys, that being said, just wanted to touch on a few things as far as money and how to manage it, and just kind of wanted to, you know, see what you guys are doing out there, because this is what works for me, and, you know, maybe it can work for you guys too. But that being said, guys, thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks again.